Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes, and we're going to have a look at, irony, at people walking back what they've said, trying to do the old reverse ferret and failing miserably. I did the story about this a couple of days ago when the EU were talking about the interview with Elon Musk and Donald Trump. And they were saying, you've got to obey our rules, even though they don't, because it doesn't apply in the EU, because they're not in the EU. They're both American citizens in America on an American channel. But the EU felt that they were very, very important and people must listen to them, even though they've got no jurisdiction whatsoever, because they're all up their own arse, aren't they? I mean, they're so far up. I mean, it's an orgy, isn't it? It's a Roman orgy, quite literally, in fact. But they've been caught out because they were saying that this interview that was going on would be could be perceived as electoral interference, and they wanted to put these things back into to people that could be there. So you've got to obey these rules or we'll take action against you and all that. Anyway, they're walking it back. Why are they walking it back? Because they're now facing accusations of electoral interference by even commenting on this, by actually raising this as an issue, has now made the EU are now guilty of electoral interference in the American elections. And the EU are now desperately trying to walk this back. They made these censorship threats. Oh, well, if you do this and you do this, oh, we'll censorship you. Well, what you're saying then is if during your election you do something we don't like, we're going to censor it. If that's not electoral interference, telling one side what they can or can't do under threat of punishment, and during an election process, what else is it? Now, this threat of electoral interference, though, has actually been made by the EU themselves. They've caught themselves on, shall we say, and their own commissioner said, actually, no, you can't. You've got to walk this back. And that's really annoyed this guy, Thierry Breton, because he was the one who made these claims, of course, and that was the thing. And so this Breton fella, he appeared to have been basically thrown under the bus during all this panic and action stations that the EU have been forced to do, because he sort of unilaterally published this letter to X. He wrote to X and he published the thing and saying, look, if you don't do this, we're going to censor you. The EU will cancel you, and all this. And apparently turns out it doesn't have the power to do it, even though he thinks he does, because they all think they've got power. They all think that they're ultimately little tin pot gods, don't they? And it turns out that he isn't. And of course, then Musk goes on and has this live discussion with Trump. And a very weird thing it was too, but I'm not going to dwell on it. That's a different video on a different day. But he had this, and then of course they've had to write to Elon Musk and apologise, and it's cracker. Because originally he said that the EU, this is this Thierry Breton, he said the EU will use all its powers, we'll censor you, we'll stop you from publishing here, we'll stop you this, we'll get you under the electric surveillance unit laws or whatever it's called, all these things, because you're spreading disinformation, you're doing this. They weren't. He was having a discussion. He was having a political discussion with a candidate for the United States presidency, as he is legally entitled to do, and I would suggest morally bound to do. People need to know what the candidates think. But the EU didn't like it because A, they hate Trump, and B, they hate Musk. And so they said, oh, blah, 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 and they've done this. Anyway, there's been a report from Politico this was yesterday, Tuesday, that said that a European Commission spokesman basically is throwing Thierry Breton under this bus, as I said that the threats made in the letter were made without the knowledge of the EU chief Ursula von der Leyen, which means that this guy acted without authority. And then the website cited 4 separate EU officials speaking on condition of anonymity. They don't want to be pointed out, to condemn the censorship or threats of censorship on Musk amid accusations that they'd had represented electoral interference in the United States. There's also the fact, why are they doing this, right? Because there's also the fact that they also use X, and they've possibly seen what's been going on with this spat between Musk and Humza Yousaf, and Musk's threat to reveal the DMs. And they're suddenly thinking, fuck, all our DMs. And they don't want to upset Musk. So they've gone and said, no. And they're dropping this guy. So this guy, Thierry Breton, bang, persona non grata. Because they know, having used X for years and years and years and done their little messages on it, that that's all recorded. And now they've got Musk. And they're not going to kiss. They're not going to come after Musk now. Musk is safe. Musk now can do just about anything he likes because he's got these guys by the short and girlies, because he's got their DMs. Never threaten anyone using lies when the truth can destroy you. And Musk has got the truth. These guys must have been shitting themselves. So they've realised this. And so they've come out going, no, Jesus, no, what can we do? Throw Thierry under the bus. Ooh, Thierry, get rid of Thierry. Thierry's a wanker. Yeah, get rid of him. Boom. And they've all come back and go, oh, please, Mr. Musk, please, Mr. Musk. Oh, man, kiss your ass. To try and save their own reputations and hope that Musk does not reveal all the DMs. Anyway, to continue very quickly around this off, he said, the EU is not in the business of electoral interference. Are you shitting me? Do you remember when Ireland voted no? To the I can't remember which one. There was one of them. One of the big things, which was to strengthen the EU. Ireland voted no, and then Ireland voted no again, and Ireland voted no again. It took 4 attempts, I think, before Ireland voted yes. But the EU kept saying, "Well, if you don't vote yes, we're going to do this, and we don't do that." That was electoral interference. They did the same in France the first time. I think Holland took a couple of goes. Electoral interference everywhere. Bullshit that they don't get rid of involved in electoral interference. It's just that they realise that beforehand they can bully and do anything they like because nobody's got the power over them. Musk has, and they don't like it, but they're going to have to put up with it. Anyway, the letter from this Thierry Breton was met with a backlash on social media, including from Elon Musk, who shared a Tropic Thunder meme with the caption, "Take a big step and literally your own face," in reply to the Frenchman. Yeah, Musk doesn't care. Musk does not give one shit. Look, here's Musk. Oh, I wish I had £1 million. Oh, there we go. I've got £1 million. And £1 million. And £1 million. What? He don't care. He does not care. Anyway, Eurosceptic politicians have also expressed support for Musk. Everyone has, and there's a list of people. I'm not going to go through them. But yeah, that's it. Musk has got them over that barrel. Musk has not only got them over the barrel, he's got their trousers around their ankles and he's banging from behind, isn't he? And they're going, please, Mr. Musk, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Musk, sir. Please, may I have more, Mr. Musk, sir? Because he's gone. Oh, isn't it a joy to see these people who think they're so powerful suddenly capitulate because they realise how much trouble they're in. Marvellous. As days goes past, Batman just gets better, doesn't he? Thanks a lot. Bye.